You're listening to the Monday Night Roundtable. For the next 2 hours, we'll talk local high school sports with the voice of the Oneida Indians, Tim Smith.
10-5, touchdown, Indians.
Give me the corners, 2 scores, baby.
Give me the corners.
The voice of the Scott Highlanders, Rick Keaton.
Throw the ball, has a receiver long upfield, chasing it down. Made by Rylan Griffith. And he'll take it all the way to the end zone.
Produced by the IH Sports Network, the Roundtable begins now.
Good Monday evening, everyone, and welcome to the Roundtable. We are live on the IH Sports Network, and we are live from the C. Michael Lay Technology Center in Helenwood. Thank you for joining us alongside the voice of the Oneida Indians, Tim Smith, the voice of the Scott Highlanders, Rick Keaton. I'm Ben Garrett. Glad to have you along. We got a lot to get to tonight. We were off last week because of Labor Day, so we're kind of mixing 2 shows in one tonight. We got a ton of guests coming your way from both Oneida, from Scott High. We got a lot to talk about. Scott High with the big 34-0 win against Monterey on Friday night. Oneida nearly pulled it off against Bledsoe County. We're going to start off by talking about both of those games. First, let's take a quick look at the scoring highlights to see how those games played out.
As once again, Morris will be under center, brings a man in motion, gives to that man. Melton sweeping left, puts his foot in the ground, stretches into the end zone. Touchdown. Bledsoe County is on the board. It's Justin Melton on the split backfield. Takes the snap, gives a little
reverse.
reverse.
Oh, my goodness.
Sweeping off to the left, 15, 10, 5 into the end zone. Touchdown. Dallas Bridges on the reverse. Bledsoe has struck again. Pistol formation. Ryan takes the snap. He'll ask Hutcherson for a yard. He's got it. Diving forward.
He's got more than one.
He is into the
He's
end
got
zone.
6.
Touchdown, Indians. Maddox Hutcherson.
Been 3 years coming right there.
Yep, that's the first time in 3 years the Indians put points on Bledsoe County. And with a split backfield. He is under center. He'll take the snap, turns, gives. This is going to be Ramirez stretching into the end zone. Touchdown, Bledsoe County, as they take the Oneida turnover. And now we'll take the snap and turn and hand to Ben Gilbert, who lowers his head, drives down inside the 5, down inside the 3 to the 2.
He's in!
Touchdown, Indians. Ben Gilbert from 12 yards out, and it's a 7-point game.
Well, it always helps when you have that initial surge off the line. Look at that. Bang. Look at them linemen, man.
Bang.
And then just running hard when he gets into on that second level and gets into the end zone.
Ready to run the play. Quick pass over the middle. Yes, nice catch. Turning around and pulling it down, Lucas Newport. 7-yard touchdown.
Hey, it opened up. It opened up. No defenders there. Lucas fell into that spot. Got the ball to him. Quarterback Privet did, and we're on the board.
14 to the left. A little counter draw. It goes back to Michael Bond. Running room up the right side. First down and more at the 50. Got a player to beat. Got one player out in front of him. Running up the sideline. Cuts back. Boy. What a job. Michael Bond.
No flags.
No flags. Great job. Michael Bond made a cut down there that was incredible.
2 backs lined up to the left-hand side of the quarterback. Got to be Privet trying to follow them. Heads to the goal line. And he is in for the score.
He's so patient. Just picks his way.
Yes, to a degree, it's pretty good for the Highlanders. Privet again, looking left. Lobs to the end zone. Jagan Morgan standing there.
Standing
all alone for the touchdown pass.
Jagan told me he would get 2. Then somebody standing there said, well, why not 4? Strong rush.
Quick pass. It's intercepted. It's Humfleet. Intercepts it, and he's gone for 6. Again, 56 yards.
That'll make up for that pass interference.
INT touchdown for Hunter Humfleet.
For the Highlander touchdown.
9:25 to go in the third period of this.
So, Rick, you see the score there, 34-0. That was with about a minute to play in the third quarter. After Scott got its next stop, 4th down, turnover inside the 30. And looked like they were about to punch another one on the board. Lightning strikes that game called, but 34-0. Scott High, big win over Monterey. Now 2-0 for the first time since 2014. First back-to-back wins for the Highlanders since 2019.
The season is going well. These young men, I think, are getting a lot of confidence. The more football they play, and they're having a good time. I think that's the most important thing. And we saw the highlight package. Hey, there were 2 other outstanding plays in the game that were called back by penalties. Probably Morgan had a 65-yard touchdown reception called back with a penalty, a holding penalty back to the line of scrimmage. And then good play by Wyatt Lloyd making a catch working down to the 1-yard line. That negated about a 30-yard gain. So, it could have been more than that before the game was called for weather.
Yeah, it was 27-0 at halftime. It could have easily been 41-0 at halftime. And Coach Billy Hall addressed those penalties in his post game. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
It was ugly early because, it seemed like every time we get going, we get a big flag and lose a bunch and, everything. And I kept telling them, guys, we're all right. Like, they ain't stopped us yet. We're stopping ourselves. I'm like, if we just clean things up and everything and we get going, like, we'll be fine. And, the kids responded great to it. I don't even know to express how proud I am of them. Again, they're a great group, and I love being – I'm glad I'm able to be their coach. They make it fun, and it's really a good time.
So, Rick, at one point you look up, it's midway through the second quarter before the floodgates kind of open. Scott's only got 7 points on the board. The 80-yard run by Michael Bond kind of exploded things a little bit, blew it wide open. But this game was very similar to the McCreary Central game in that, just as Coach Hall said, it's not the opponent stopping Scott High so much as Scott High is stopping themselves. The offense has been really close to being they've been good. They've been close to being really, really good.
They certainly have. And the other night, like I say, it builds into the confidence thing. We struggled, seemed like, in the first half in a lot of games in the last 2-3 years. Even against McQuarrie, we struggled. But, you had the one call back in the first quarter. We were leading 7-0 at that point. Then you get these 3 other scores in the second quarter. And, you can just feel the momentum is shifting, the momentum is changing, and it feels like they can start a little faster. We know they can start a lot faster. And so they just did that the other night. And I'm just – as all Highlander fans are, just real pleased to see this group of young men gel together and put together a team that is on a mission right now.
One thing that stands out, now Scott High's going to face better offenses, and it's going to start this week against Austin East for sure. But one thing that stands out is through 2 games, Scott High's given up 1 offensive touchdown. I don't know that I thought coming into the season the defense was going to be as good as it is.
Well, that's another key. And what I like about the coaches, they are rotating probably at least 6 people in that defensive tackle positions. The ends are doing a really good job. Houston Stanley on one side and I lost the name. Braxton Potter on the other side, who had a tremendous game against McCreary. And the linebackers are doing good. And the one thing that we don't talk about it enough, that our secondary, Carter Slavin, Keegan Boland, turned into 2 outstanding man-up corners. And then Michael Bowles brings a lot of flash and dash, and he'll not run over you from the safety position. So overall, the defense, all the people, all the players are buying into it, and they seem to be finding themselves in position.
All right, so Scott High 2-0 for the first time in 11 years. A huge test on Friday night to open region play. I'm sure we're going to talk about that a lot more as the night goes on. Tim Smith, you saw the highlights. Oneida got that touchdown. I think you made the comment at the time, a ton of time was still left. 10-plus minutes left on the clock. Just could not stop Bledsoe County and get them off the field. Bledsoe converts a 4th down. They convert a 3rd down, and they're able to run out the clock. For Oneida, the story, and you spoke to Coach May about this after the game, Oneida turned the ball over twice, and Bledsoe capitalized on both of those. Bledsoe didn't have a turnover.
Yeah, and it's hard to be negative about a game where this team didn't allow us to score for the last 2 years, and we gave up 55 points to them. So, I mean, this was definitely a step forward. Even though Bledsoe had lost some players, the Indians got down again at home. Now I hope it's not a pattern that we're going to give up a 14-0 lead every home game, but that happened to the Indians again. They came back again and showed some resilience. But I think when you look at a game like this, as a coach, you kind of have to do an autopsy on that. And the autopsy on this one is that you found a way to run the football for the first time this year successfully and against a very good team that should be able to stop you better than the first 2 teams, no disrespect to Harriman and Rockwood. But you found that running game in this game to be more consistent. You made some mistakes in the passing game, yes, but the more I've thought about this, the more I have become concerned with the penalties that happened on that drive that we allowed Bledsoe to come back down the field for that 3rd touchdown. When we had cut it to 7 and then they have the football and they're coming back down the field, we had back-to-back personal foul penalties, back-to-back 15-yard penalties. And we have to clean up the penalties. Those are just out of thin air. I think a coach probably pulls his hair out thinking
drive killers.
You can absolutely stop those pretty easily. You feel like so. Hopefully they'll find a way to do that, because in the first 3 weeks the penalties have been an issue, and I think you can clean up the turnovers. These games are not the most important games. You're going to have region games ahead. We've got another game that's kind of like not a practice game, but it's not a region game. So it's good competition this Friday night with Christian Academy of Knoxville. You're going to see your defense tested in a completely different way from what they got last week. So you're going to see if they can hold up against this passing offense of Christian Academy of Knoxville. But for me, what I'm going to be watching for, cut out the penalties. We've seen them for 3 weeks. What can we be if we get rid of those things? What can we be? Maybe we could have slowed Bledsoe County down or forced them, but they made a few penalties, but they didn't turn the ball over any. So pretty much a mistake-free game for the Warriors, and they win by 6. So you got to think about when it's that close. I think you just go back and think this one moment or this one moment,
yes,
and it can drive you crazy. But they got to be on to CAK this week.
Let's take a quick look at what Jimmy May had to say after that game against Bledsoe.
Yeah, it was one of those hard fought games, and after the first quarter we had a pick, and then we gave them a short field on the punt, and we were down 14-0 before we ever got our footing, and then we were able to move the ball and just found something, running outside zone to the right and to the left, and I thought we were able to run the ball pretty well tonight, and I think we were pushing them back, got some running lanes, we were able to do that, and I was just proud of the effort tonight. We fought back and gave ourselves a chance, and to hang in there in the fourth quarter down by a score and trying to get the ball back, and I thought we were hard-nosed tonight, and I think that'll take us a long way later in the season if we can continue to play like that. We never gave up, we never quit, and we fought to the bitter end.
And so, Tim, the spark, you mentioned finding a way to move the football on the ground for the first time this season. Really, it's for the first time in a couple of seasons. And that spark, once again, has been Ben Gilbert. Now, here's the question, and Ben's going to be here later. But this isn't a question for Ben, because as a player, if you got something to offer, you want to go every single snap. This would be a question for you as a hypothetical coach, because you're asking him to do so much. He's doing so much now on the offensive side of the ball, and, of course, he's always done a lot on the defensive side. Do you worry about his durability and what he's having to be asked to do for this team right now?
I do, and I think you're going to sacrifice that in a game like this one this week. But I feel like 2 weeks from now when we face Tellico Plains, Ben better eat enough bananas and whatever he needs to eat, because I think you're going to see more snaps on both sides of the football in that game and in Eagleton and in Polk County. The others, that's fine, but I think the workload's going to pick up for those 3 games big time.
You made the comment at one point during that game. Oneida was inside the 10-yard line on their first touchdown drive, and you said Ben comes out of the game, which is just such an odd statement. It sounded like you're probably not going to be making that statement in that Tellico Plains game. Am I right?
That's a guess on my part. I'm not a coach, but, it's going to be nice. Cole's shoulder has been injured. We'll get that 3-back rotation back in, so a few more carries that way, keep the hits down, at least on the offensive side of the football, because he's going to continue to hit on the defensive side of the football. Obviously, that's his game. But, Maddox gave nice minutes the other night as well, and I think Cole is going to benefit from watching this, and I know he's itching to be out there. And just that desire, I think we saw with Jackson Cross last week where – He thought he wasn't going to be in the game last week for a lot of the week, and then he was in the game. I think we saw a different Jackson Cross, because I think he thought about, I've gotten a chance that I wasn't going to get, and he took full advantage of it.
All right, we got players starting to filter in. We're going to talk a lot of football tonight, but first we're going to take this break. Thank you, as always, to Little's Drugs and Fountain for sponsoring our first segment. Remember, if you're in the Huntsville area, you need lunch. Little's has got a full menu. Stop by, check them out. They're next to the 2763 intersection on Highway 22nd, right across from Biggs Medical Clinic. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk soccer with a couple of Oneida Lady Indians. Welcome back to the Roundtable on the IH Sports Network, live from the C. Michael Lay Technology Center in Helenwood, alongside Tim Smith and Rick Keaton. I'm Ben Garrett, and we're joined now by two seniors from Oneida Lady Indian soccer team. We've got Cameron Stiltner, we've got Larissa Jones, the only two seniors from Oneida, as we work our way through our seniors on both of our local soccer teams. And 2 weeks ago, we didn't have the opportunity to have you ladies on because you had a pageant meeting. So the pageant was Saturday night. We got that nonsense out of the way, and so now we can focus on sports, and which is kind of how the good Lord intended it.
Ben,
and
it's not
that's rude
nonsense.
Yeah.
Sorry to calm you down there.
Calm down, Rick. So last season, I'm going to go back to last season when you guys were juniors, and Oneida needed a goalie. And it was you two who were in the running, kind of, I don't want to say battling it out to be goalie, because that sounded like you two were battling to be the starter, and I'm not sure either one of you truly wanted to be the goalie. But you wound up being the goalie, and you've turned into a really good goalie. So talk about that battle. Were you disappointed, first of all, that she got the goalie position, and then talk about how you got the goalie position. You start, Larissa.
I was not disappointed that I did not get goalie.
But you played in the goal a little bit.
I did play in the goal, which, I mean, it wasn't horrible, and I would have played if, like, they needed Cam up. But at the time, we had a pretty good offense, and we needed some defense. And I played defense, and Cam plays offense, so they just kind of worked out that way.
You don't play so much defense. I mean, you do play defense, but you've taken over more of a, is it fair to say, a midfield role this year?
Yeah, they've put me midfield now.
Okay, so I saw you a couple of weeks ago at Scott High, and I got to say, so I've watched you play soccer and basketball for 4 years. I didn't realize you were as fast. I mean, you were up and down the field that night.
Yeah, I was everywhere.
So are you enjoying playing more of the role that gets you on the offensive side of the field?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
All right. So, and just to be clear, last year you didn't nail down the goalie spot. It had nothing to do with the goals that you gave up so much as that Coach Blevins needed you in the field.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So let's talk about from your perspective. You wound up being the goalie last year. And I know you're not going to sit here and say I was forced into it or anything like that. You're going to say I want to help my team out. You've become a really good goalie for the Lady Indians.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's definitely not my first pick. I'd rather be out in the field on offense, but, I mean, that's where my team needs me, so that's where I'm going to be. And
this season is still relatively young, but already 2 shutouts in the goal position with the help of the defense in front of you. But you got the shutout against York in an 8-0 win. Then you got the shutout against Scott High. That was a scoreless game both ways. But, I mean, that's pretty impressive, 2 shutouts already.
Yeah, Carnes was definitely by far the funnest game we played all season. It was kind of a back-and-forth game. They didn't score on us till the last 10 minutes, so that was pretty hard. But that was the best game by far. York was not competitive at all, and then Scott High. We should have beat Scott High. We haven't established our offense yet, so we have to work on that for sure.
Well, tomorrow night is going to be a good opportunity to do that because tomorrow night you open district play against Rockwood, and Rockwood has struggled a little bit this year. They've given you guys some tough challenges in the past, but this year I'm just going off of the result that they had the other night against Oliver Springs. Oliver Springs, as we know, is a pretty good team, but good opportunity tomorrow night to get things on track offensively.
Yeah, hopefully. We've been working on, one-touch passes, so hopefully we can see that transfer over into a game.
And, Larissa, correct me if I'm wrong here. Now, you haven't scored a goal yet, right?
I did, actually.
You did. Okay, so I was wrong. Well, these two guys will tell you that that's not surprising at all. So what I was going to say is after seeing you run the field last week before last at Scott High, it's probably not going to be long. But, okay, so let me ask you this. A hat trick maybe? Cam says you guys have got to get your offense on track, so someone's got to step up and score a lot of goals. Now, we know Addison Cross can score goals. You guys have got other players up front that can score goals, but, I mean, what about it? You ran the field well. Like I said, I was impressed with your speed. You ran the field like a running back.
I got to figure out, where I need to go and where I need to be at, but hopefully I can get to where I'm that offensive player.
I mean, soccer is not my chief sport, just ladies. So my questions, you'll just have to entertain me that they're going to be very elementary in nature. But and I'll start, Cam, with you. So as a goalie, and your defense is pretty good, right? So is there ever times when you feel like I'm just standing here and you wish there was more action for you in a game, or are you just glad to have that time, or?
No, I definitely hate how I just stand there 24/7. Especially against York, I was bored. I was very bored. But when we're playing like Oliver Springs and like Carnes and like the better teams, it's definitely it's a fun position to play when we're playing better teams.
So what's it like when you realize, I better be ready because there is going to be a shot on goal? About how many shots on goal have you had to try to defend this year?
Against Carnes, I had 23 saves, and against Sevier County, I had 19. So
a lot of action. 19 saves.
Well, in 2 games. The other 2 games didn't have much, but those 2 games I had a lot of action.
See, a very elementary question. So I appreciate you not rolling your eyes when I asked it. So Larissa, you do the same for me, please. One, we all rolled our eyes, I think, if we've watched Oneida play basketball, when Ben was surprised how fast you were, because it seems like soccer is down your alley with the way you seem to never hardly get tired, it doesn't seem. I mean, you're just moving constantly. Soccer's maybe a more stimulating game for you that way, that you're always on the move. I mean, because you sure seem to be able to do that in basketball. Is that right?
Hold that question for one. She's a post player. Post players are not fast.
Larissa outruns the defense.
Am I right?
How often is she out in front of everybody?
I don't really know where
I play. Carry on. You can
everywhere.
answer his question.
Ben Garrett's throwing everybody under the bus tonight. I'm going to get.
He threw me under the bus first.
She beats people back to the goal more than any other post player, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, she's on the move. But anyway, the question.
I think she gets really tired in basketball, though. Basketball, I feel like, is more tiring than soccer for sure.
Is it because of the stop and start, or?
I think it's constantly a go.
Yeah, we're always having to move and always having to go full speed.
Coach West, am I right? Anyway, so Larissa, let me ask you this: if you're going to try to score a goal, and I don't want to give the defenders any news on you, but would you rather go to the right or to the left? Which one's more comfortable for you? Does it matter?
If I don't have the middle, I would very much prefer the right.
The right? Is that because you're better with your right foot, or?
Yeah, if I'm like having to take it far, I would prefer the right, but if I don't have to really go very far, then I'd like the left so that I can get a better angle.
So who's the team to beat in your mind? Who's the team that you guys have to go through to get where you want to be this season?
It would be Anderson County, but we don't play them.
Oliver
Springs for sure.
So a little bit they're pretty good?
Yes.
Well, they've lost a lot of players since last year. They still had the Twins, but they are definitely the team to beat to get us where we need to be.
So when is that game?
It's our senior night. I think it's like the 25th, maybe.
Of
September. Yeah.
All right. So coming up pretty soon. I mean, that'll be here before you know it, really.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Also, like Ben Garrett, I was there at the Scott Oneida game. I'm trying to learn more about soccer, so I've been to 3 or 4 games this year. And yes, I made the comment, I thought you were extremely fast. And
see.
And yeah, but Rick goes to all Sky High games, Ben.
No, I mean I don't go to all of them. I'm trying to support.
In basketball is what I'm saying. You don't get to see Larissa hardly because you're
I watch
busy.
I watch on replay because I do go to. We may broadcast 15 games, and I may go to another 10. So there you go.
You're making it sound like that. I think you're a great basketball player, okay, for the record. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she pinned someone off the backboard or did any of those things. It's the getting up and down the field that surprised me. She went the length of the field, and Rick can attest to this. She got the ball more than once, probably at the opposing 18, and took it the length of the field, did you not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Really good speed.
All right, so you guys have got a big week coming up. You've got Rockwood tomorrow night, and then on Friday and Saturday you go to Gatlinburg. Always a fun trip, the Smoky Mountain Cup, and you play Franklin Christian, which I know nothing about. Probably you guys don't either. That's Friday evening. Then you play early Saturday afternoon, and then again Saturday evening. So 3 games in 24 hours. It's going to be hot, as it always is. It's on turf, and turf is hotter. What do you do to prepare for that and condition yourself for that much soccer in that short amount of time?
I don't really think water. Yeah, we just have to hydrate and then just kind of hope for the best.
Hydrate, keep our bodies. We've gotten hurt every single game. Somebody has gotten hurt. Our bodies are definitely weak. But I say just keep our bodies healthy this week to prepare.
All right. Guys, good luck tomorrow night against Rockwood as you start off district play and get to the district championship and win a district, and we'll get you guys back on here to talk about that later in the season. Cameron Stiltner and Larissa Jones.
Before you go, would you like to apologize about your pageant comment? so everybody can hear it. Well, that would be the right thing to do.
Would you rather – you were in the pageant Saturday night.
Yeah.
Would you rather be in a pageant or would you rather play a soccer game tomorrow night against Rockwood?
Apples and oranges. That's not what you said.
Yeah, it's
Be
different.
quiet.
Got nothing to do with it, does it, Rick?
You're not going to answer?
Nope, not the point.
I would very much rather play soccer.
Boom. I'm not asking you.
That's not the win you think it is.
Which would you rather do? Oh, that was a win. That was a win.
Well, right now, I don't know. It's hard.
Okay.
As revenge, and I know we're going along on this, but as revenge, Cameron, I want you to ask Ben. I know they don't do the pageant questions out loud anymore. I want you to ask Ben a pageant question and tell us how he did.
Okay, let's see.
Here you go, Ben.
Here you go, man. Yeah.
What makes Tennessee so interesting?
You got this?
Actually, should be a very easy question for him.
Tennessee.
Yeah, you love outdoors.
Tennessee is home. It has to be interesting.
Fail.
Elaborate on that.
Well, I mean,
I like that one.
Okay, we're going to a break. So I have never competed in a pageant. Obviously, I'm never going to compete in a pageant, so I don't have to worry about questions. Okay, good enough.
No.
Let's go to a break.
Cameron
it's getting worse.
Stiltner and Larissa Jones, thank you guys for joining us. Good luck tomorrow, and good luck in Gatlinburg this weekend. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll flip back to football. Welcome back to the Roundtable on the IH Sports Network with Tim Smith and Rick Keaton. I'm Ben Garrett. We are live from the C. Michael Lay Technology Center in Helenwood, and we're flipping back to football now. We've got Friday night superlatives with us from Oneida's game against Bledsoe County. We've got our first National Bank Player of the Game, Ben Gilbert, second time this season for Ben being Player of the Game. And we got our Trophy Masters lineman of the game, Jackson Cross. Ben went over the century mark. The last time he was here, he was close. I think you had 90 in the season opener against Rockwood. On Friday night, it was, 113, I think? Something to that effect? Yeah.
So, player of the game, you've had that before, but this is twice in one season on offense. Does that seem strange or expected, or what are your words for that?
I wouldn't say expected, but I don't know. I just I felt more comfortable than I thought I would on the offense side of the ball.
Yeah, and so what happened that the switch kind of flipped on the running game for us there in I guess upwards late second quarter, maybe early third quarter? It seemed like we were able to run better. What do you feel like happened better?
We just switched a little bit what we were doing, just schematically, and I like it better. I feel like I read it better with what we switched to, so that helped me out a lot. And Maddox is the same way, I think. And we were trading every two just to keep our arms dry so we didn't fumble, and he did a really good job coming in there too.
And Jackson, you correct me if I'm wrong, but the Bledsoe County line probably is better than the Rockwood and Harriman lines that we went up against, right?
Yeah, I'd agree on that. Yeah.
Yeah, these were bigger dudes. They probably rotated some more through.
Yeah.
So why do you feel like it worked better on the ground?
I think we just kind of locked in, just as a unit, everybody was working together, and we were moving them pretty dang good. Definitely the best all season, we all just came together.
So you've got CAK coming up this week, and do you know anything about are they going to be pretty big line, or what are you dealing with there?
I'm pretty positive they're going to be pretty massive, you could say, and they're going to probably have enough kids to be subbing in and out. So it's not going to be easy by any means, just because that's not maybe what you think of when you think of CAK. But it'll be maybe even the best challenge all season. We just have to see.
So I kind of said in the opening in talking about the penalties that we've been getting. So in just a frank discussion, we've had some personal foul penalties, some flags thrown. Do you feel like those are things that we're going to stop, or is that just how we play, or are the coaches probably not happy with it? What's the penalty, or should we even know what the penalty is when that happens?
Well, maybe I shouldn't discuss what actually happens to you live on the broadcast, but
okay.
I can go ahead and tell you I'm never going to shoot a bow and arrow in front of a referee ever again. Even, think what you think about the call, but it'll never challenge me again to do that. But Yeah, it's just I think it's going to stop, and we had one maybe last week, but it just keeps getting lower and lower the number, and I think we'll just clean that up eventually.
Because there's a fine line, right, between being all in and aggressive and doing what you got to do, and then finding that area but I don't go that far.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tough line, right? Especially for a high school player. Ben, you ever got a personal foul like that? So
No.
What would you give as a tip? I'm not trying to make this the topic of everything, but I mean, to me, it's interesting and impacting in the game right now. What would you give as a tip? Here's how I'm not going to do that.
Just keep your head. I mean, it does no good. You can say that word or do that action or whatever it is. It's not going to get you anywhere. But yeah, I mean, it's getting better week by week. But at the start, they've just hammered down on it so much this year, just more than usual.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's getting better week by week. We've just started putting the hammer down on it because the referees aren't giving us a second chance. So we just got to take it like that in practice even.
Point of emphasis, and I mean, it doesn't matter. You're probably hearing it or seeing it from the other team, and maybe in that instance, the referee doesn't see it, so you feel like you got to go after it. So, but I just wanted to ask that question, because I was curious. I know back in the day, I would hear about from guys I was going to school with, we had to run the hill, or there's always a punishment in practice too, right?
We got the hill.
You got the hill.
We got the hill.
Yeah. So, all right. So, So this week is CAK, and what do you feel like is going to be the toughest thing being? Are they better offensively or defensively, or can you even say one's above the other?
I'd say offensively. We don't know about their quarterback right now. He's been in and out. We don't know if he's playing this week or not. So we got, he's a problem to deal with, and then they're big up front, and they got a pretty big size tight end, good receiver. So it'll be a test for us defensively, but it seems like right now we just got to figure out what's working on offense that night, and then stick to that. So we'll just have to see on that end.
So they're 2-1. They lost to Heritage, but I mean that's a 4A team. Yeah. Heritage, they've got these other 2 wins. They didn't have the year they wanted to have last year, but what do you feel like is going to be the toughest part about CAK?
They'll be tough to stay with. I feel like through the course of a game,
mm-hmm.
because they're going to have a lot of kids, a lot of good athletes too that can, go the whole game, no problem really. And we just need, myself included, I'm pretty lazy when it comes to wanting to go on defense, just to be honest with you. And that's just stuff like that we got to fix. And but I think, as long as we can stay with them, I really think we can, do something.
So I guess you know that Oneida's all-time record versus CAK. Do you know what that is?
Unfortunately, yes.
Is it 4-0?
It's 4-0. Yeah. So and Coach May was co-head coach during that time. But now that was when they first came around, and each year they crept closer. Those last 2 years, we just barely got by them. They got really good really fast. So this is not the same CAK that Oneida was 4-0 against once upon a time. And since then, they also have won 2 state championships back in the day. So this is an important game. You always want to win this game, but the game after that is Tellico Plains. And Ben, I mentioned earlier, you might not see as much two-way play this week, but against Tellico Plains, you're probably going to see a lot more than you've seen all year. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, just like I said earlier, it just depends on what's working that night. Harriman, I mean, I think I was pretty even, splitting reps and stuff like that offensively, just because the pass game was working so well. Brock was playing really good, and so it just depends on what's working for us, and if we can figure out in the moment, then we just kind of roll with it.
Who's having to grow up and step up now that you're off the field more, especially defensively? Who's having to pick up the slack there?
We usually try. So if I rest, it's really on offense, and defense is the main concern that I can stay ready to play, get on defense at any time. So really, it's the offense is the main concern. And with Cole out right now, Max has been splitting reps, and then Gage Duncan will hop in there. He's a freshman. He does a really good job whenever he gets in there. So yeah, mostly Gage is just having to go in and carry the ball a few times.
What's the timeline on Cole? Do we know right now?
I want to say he was going to get back this week, but it was still kind of iffy.
Okay. All right, Jackson. You mentioned the lines coming together more. What do you think has led to that? Just consistent, everybody in the same spot? Or?
Yeah. And well, not exactly that, because we had Cersei go down last week, unfortunately. But, Reese came in, is playing that really well last week. I think it's, we've basically everyone except for Brolin, we're all seniors. Like, we've all basically withered the storm, together.
Right.
And I'm sure that adds to the, the fact of all being together, working together, and getting this big goal of, being able to run the ball better than we have in years, I feel like. I feel like that's definitely true. But, yeah, I think it's just that we've, been together so long and we just all have the same goal. Like, I mean, it's probably been 6 or 7 years since I've, playing with these guys, and it just has really added up, I think.
All right.
When I watch Ben run, I sort of have a perception that you're patient. You very careful. You like to take your time. You want to see the hole in front of you before you go. Am I wrong when I say that?
No, yeah, that's right.
How hard did you have to work? Because normally when you step into this role, everybody wants hand off and go, hand off and go. How hard was it to you to make the adjustment to, I guess, to learn and develop patience?
Defensively, it really, I think I might have talked about this before, but it really just goes hand in hand. So, whenever I'm looking for a gap to press on defense, I've just got to be patient, wait for one to open up, and then when I see it, I hit as hard as I can. And it's the same thing on offense. In my opinion, you're just taking account for a lot. You're taking account for all 11 guys on offense when you're just looking for one ball carrier on defense. So it's a little bit different, but I don't know. I've enjoyed it, and hopefully I can keep doing it the rest of the season.
Okay. Jackson, a couple of quick questions, sort of a part A and part B right here. Do you prefer run block or pass block? And the second part of that is, what do you think about your entire line? Better run blocking or setting up pass block?
So for myself, I've always, there's a lot to go there. I'm a Kansas City Chiefs guy, so I love Patrick Mahomes, maybe more than my own father. But so in that aspect, I've always thought I was better at pass blocking. But this season I've had some struggles. Like last week I let up a sack, Rockwood I let up one, and run blocking that's where I feel like I've been the most consistent on in a way. Now Harriman I think I did okay, but but as a team, like as far as the team goes, I would say that run blocking is probably where we've been the best at this season. Giving Ben Maddox some room to run. But yeah.
Well, with a Coach May team, it's once again, this is only my perception, but it's sort of the offense is built off the run.
Mm.
And if you can't block and he can't run, Maddox can't run there like that. I mean, it can be a long night, right?
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yeah. Good luck this week.
All right, before we go to break, I'm going to ask Jackson something that's got absolutely nothing to do with high school football. And I was going to ask this already. You brought up Kansas City Chiefs, but
yeah.
I was going to ask you anyway because you're Big Daddy's Chief fan or whatever.
I guess so.
All weekend long, there's been a replay on Twitter. There's been a lot of debate where your quarterback is running towards the sideline, and he lowers his shoulder, and the defender lowers his shoulder, and they meet shoulder to shoulder. There's been so much debate. Who should the flag have been on?
Not on Mahomes, absolutely not. Never.
Absolutely not.
I don't think he should ever have any sort of penalty throw. And in fact, I really feel like it's good that they're protecting him as much as they can because look at him. I mean, when you have somebody as talented and awesome as that, why would you ever,
So you're agreeing with what the entire Twitterverse thinks? The Chiefs get the calls.
Oh no.
Well,
I actually think they get messed up a lot of times in the games, but it is what it is.
Tim,
it's been just a really hard time being a Chiefs fan these past few years, and seeing all these people really just kind of irritates me. But
Tim, you're a big NFL guy. What do you think on that?
Falcons beat them last year, right?
That's true.
So who should?
That's all I know.
I was going to go to that game, but then I tore my ACL, so then I couldn't go.
That's what's important.
You're not going to answer the question.
What?
Who should the flag have been on? Patrick Mahomes?
They shouldn't even be able to tackle Patrick Mahomes.
He's
a national treasure, Jackson.
I just the more people that open their eyes to this, I feel like the better.
We got our work cut out for us.
Yeah.
Haters.
Yeah, I know. It's rough.
All right, Ben Gilbert, our First National Bank player of the game. By the way, First National Bank presenting the T-shirt and the hoodie to Ben. And there you go. And Jackson, you're the Trophy Masters lineman of the game, and we got swag coming your way from Trophy Masters. It'll just be later in the season. Thank both you guys for stopping by. Hope to see you again this season. We got some Highlanders in the house, but first we're going to back it up after the break and catch last week's player of the game and lineman of the game right after this. Welcome back to the Roundtable on the IH Sports Network, live from the C. Michael Lay Technology Center in Helenwood. We are now joined by last week's First National Bank Player of the Game and Trophy Masters Lineman of the Game. We got quarterback Brock Ryan, and we've got Drayton Wade. And I don't know, Tim, did he get it? How did he get Lineman of the Game? Was it offense or defense?
Well, Drayton plays both sides, tight end on offense. Drayton, what do you feel like it was for? Defense?
I'd say it was probably a combination of both.
Have you been on the round table before?
No.
I didn't think so. This is Drayton's debut on the round table, so welcome. Glad to have you here. So do you guys give the other ones a rough time that you got player of the game in a win?
Not really.
No, you're not going to rub that in?
No.
So talk to me about that. We'll go back to that Harriman game because we didn't have the round table last week and did get a chance to talk about it earlier on this. But a 28-0 win, pretty much a dominating game down there at Harriman. What makes the Blue Devils a tough out?
Probably their run game. It was hard to stop at first, and then we got the hang of it. And then once we got up, they had to throw the ball, and we had a lot of pressures.
Yeah.
And it was pretty easy after that.
And then as far as like on the other side of the football and playing the tight end, Jesse's playing some tight end, you're playing some tight end, a little friendly competition with you guys this year?
Yeah. It makes us better, though. It makes practice a lot more fun, being able to compete with somebody.
Yeah.
So.
And, I mean, traditionally, the Oneida tight end doesn't receive a lot of targets, but you guys are good pass catchers and getting open in these routes.
Yep. I think our size is why we get the ball a lot, honestly. Being able to catch it and still being able to run as fast as we can at our size is a lot.
All right. Brock, let me ask you, you're the guy that decides where the ball goes every play, right? So having a couple of tight ends, where are they in most of your plays? Are the tight ends early in the progressions, or do you get most of your information about what's going to be open when you look over to the sideline? How's that work?
I wouldn't say they're the first target, but, in the back of my mind, I know I always got those guys. I can dump it like Drayton. I know I always got him. He's going to catch it, and he's going to run through someone after the play. So,
yeah.
And, Jesse, he's got that speed too as well. He'll run by, Harriman, you saw it, ran right by that guy. He's fast. He's going to do it. But, I got Grady Keaton. I got Waylon, all those big receivers out there that are mainly, they're part of their first look,
Right.
But I always know I got Drayton.
So does it seem like people are paying a lot more attention to Grady this year? It seems like it from our perspective, seems like there's some attention his way.
I mean, yeah, he's one of those guys. He's gonna go up. I don't have to place the ball as much with him. I know he's gonna go up and get it, but I mean, also with I'm the same as other. I know my other guys are gonna go up and get it too. So I mean, I don't have a favorite receiver to throw to. I throw the open guy. So.
Right. Early on in the season, it seemed like the running game struggled to get going, but over the last couple of weeks, it's been going pretty good. Does it feel like that's opened things up offensively, passing the ball for you too?
Yeah. Honestly, I thought we didn't run the ball great against Harriman. I didn't think, and the pass was still there. But I know Bledsoe, we ran the ball really good. I didn't have my best game, but no, I think it does. Yeah, I think you always run the ball to open up the pass, but
Excuse me.
And so, Drayton, talk about Bledsoe. These guys were bigger than Harriman. What were they like to deal with when you're not going to get a lot of chances to sack the quarterback because they're not going to throw it a lot?
It was a lot harder being able to read where the ball was going, and having a wing every play. It was difficult trying to get back there. So.
And now this week you faced an entirely different thing, right? What's going to be the challenge with CAK?
Honestly, they run the ball so good, so I have to watch for their play action, make sure that they don't boot or buck. I got to keep contained.
Okay. And what about Brock this week? What's going to be your biggest challenge against CAK that you can foresee?
Right now, I mean, they got a good secondary. They're pretty disciplined. I mean, we've been watching film, but I think if we go out there and do the thing, I think we got a good shot at them. Just got to stay disciplined on offense.
And you talk about staying disciplined, and we talked with Jackson about the penalties that have been occurring. Do you feel like there's an idea that we're going to move forward with less penalty yardage this year? Do you think that's something that's been an emphasis?
I think every game we've been getting better on the penalties. Rockwood was a rough start.
Yeah.
A lot of penalties. Harriman, we saw a lot of penalties on them, and then we kept ours down. I think it keeps getting better and better every week. So,
what do you feel like is going to be the key to have the successful season? We got CAK, and then it's going to start with the region play. What has to get better? And you play both sides of football, so give me both sides of football. What has to get better on each side of the football?
Honestly, keeping our energy up, being able to have a bad play or throw an interception or have a fumble and still being able to go back out on defense and not chirp at each other and just keep playing.
Brock, what do you feel like is going to be the main thing to take a step forward to get you all where you need to be?
The passing game, we gotta, I'm with Drayton, gotta keep energy up. Like I said, stay disciplined. But yeah, that's all I got on that.
Well, I mean, I know I'm thankful that you've been healthy.
Yeah.
For sure. I think I'm very thankful for that because we're getting to see what you can do this year, and I think really you've just had 3 games. Right?
I made it farther than I did last year, so
yeah.
Right now just going game by game. But
and I think there's a you would admit there's a lot of improvement to make, but I mean you're having to make it in such a short time because you
I got my sophomore year taken away, third game the junior year taken away, so it's all coming at me at once kind of, but just got to keep improving, practicing and stuff. Coach May talks to me a lot. We talk a lot about it, Coach Terry, but I even have Jason Terry on the sideline. Harriman, he I was a little nervous at Harriman the first couple drives. I started off good, but I was a little happy feet back there. I had him to, halftime. We had a good talk about it, but.
So it's a pretty exclusive club when you think about down through the years. There's only a certain number of people that have played quarterback at Oneida, and you got one of them coaching you. I mean, one that has won a lot of games, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, guys, congratulations on 2 weeks ago being the lineman of the game and the player of the game, and I'll let you guys quiz them if you would like. I got one last question before we go.
Sort of the same question I asked Jackson a while ago. When you're on offense, I know in the Oneida offense, tight ends have to block a lot. Are you better run block, pass block?
Honestly, probably run block. I used to not like blocking, but against Bledsoe, I think I did a good job of blocking for Ben when he cut back, and we got a lot of yards off of them just cutting back and me staying on my guy. So probably run blocking.
You alluded to the fact of being healthy. How about the rest of the team? Is that an important thing the rest of the way out? Is everybody try to stay as healthy as possible?
Oh yeah. A lot of us. Coach Martin does a lot with us, keeping us healthy and progressing our bodies week by week. But yeah, I know Cole went out. He might make a return. I know he practiced today, so we'll see how he feels at the end of the week. But Coach Martin is a big part of us staying healthy and making sure we're good.
Congratulations so far. Keep it up against CAK. I watched a lot of their games over the years, so
I know one of our crew said, Drayton, that the way you were running and the physicality, the way you seek out, that probably when you switch back into basketball, it may be January before you don't foul out of a game. Do you feel like you're going to have trouble flipping that switch?
Not really. I've played basketball since I was about 2 years old, so it just comes naturally in basketball. I think it was honestly harder trying to get physical for football.
Yeah, and this is about football mostly, but now that last question is basketball, but now I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but you're going to have somebody joining you in basketball this year, right?
Yep.
So
as long as I stay healthy.
Yeah. So what's Brock going to bring to the court that everybody can be looking forward to seeing down the road when we hitting basketball?
He'll bring a lot of shooting. He's a really good shooter. He'll bring some defense too, but his shooting is the main thing.
Yeah. It's an exciting year. You know, also one other comment that was made in that Harriman game is, you know, we're here at Harriman, second game football. It might be where that basketball season comes to a big important game as well, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Harriman's always good at basketball. So.
Yep. All right.
All right. So first of all, I hope you do stay healthy because we've been waiting a long time to see you out there, and it's been fun. And so congratulations to both of you guys. It's been a great start to the season. Good luck this Friday night against CAK. Brock Ryan, our First National Bank Player of the Game from a week ago, and Drayton Wade, our Trophy Masters Lineman of the Game from a week ago. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll talk Scott High football for a few minutes. Welcome back to the roundtable on the IH Sports Network as we come back with Gage Privet doing his best H. Keaton impersonation and talking as we're coming back.
That's my fault.
No, we got Gage Privet, Scott High quarterback, was our First National Bank Player of the Game on Friday night in the big win over Monterey, and Caleb Bell was our Trophy Masters Lineman of the Game. So thank both of you guys for joining us. Great game all the way around, Rick.
That certainly was a great game. I want to tell you, in our post game, I picked a play that I thought should have been the play of the game. It involved Hayden Mason and Caleb Bell. We didn't get it on camera, and that's the excuse Ben gave me that it couldn't be the player of the game because you two guys had a double team on a midway player, and, I mean, it was you pushed him so far downfield, I thought you were going to take him on down the hill to Cookville.
Yeah. I
mean, we couldn't even get it within the frame of the camera. And, of course, the Highlander fans, they were very excited to see that. Can you want to address that first, Caleb, that particular play? And did y'all just get lucky, or it's one of these circumstances where it just clicked like that?
That's the way the play's designed. Me and Hayden are both supposed to go to that man and get him out of the way. So we just took him, and we just happened to take him 30 yards.
Just 30 yards. There you go. That's a decisive block by the two of you, and Highlander fans appreciate that effort. Let's talk about the team on Friday night. Maybe a little slow to come out with. It took us a possession or two to actually score the first touchdown. And we were talking about alpacas a while ago, and we're going to throw the point back there to Lucas Newport. Lucas made a really good catch on that first touchdown, Gage. You want to take us through that play?
I don't remember what the play was like supposed to be, but we seen that the safety was kind of shifted over, so we just put him to a seam, and it was just right there for us. I mean,
that got us started,
Mhm.
right? And your numbers were fair, but let's talk about two passes that you get no statistical advantage on there.
Mhm.
I mean, let's talk about the play. It's called back for penalty, where you hit Jacob Morgan on a deep post.
Mhm.
On a deep post. Let's talk about that play a little bit.
Well, since we had the bye week after the first game, we had a lot of time to just draw up plays, and we just did a great job. And there's nobody near him.
Okay. Now, explain why you pointed Caleb here.
Well, because Caleb was furious on that play, and I was furious for him. But the explanation we got, Coach Hall told us after the game what the explanation was from the official, and that was that Caleb blocked too aggressively. That's why the 15-yard penalty was called. Took the touchdown off the board. You didn't do anything, right?
It was a little tick-tacky. The ball was gone, so it was a okay call, but I was not very happy in the moment.
So you're agreeing with the call?
Not really.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I can see why it was thrown.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, carry on.
But
Rick.
I mean, that's an unfortunate thing because a lot of people, the ball's 60 yards downfield. Why is the guy still watching? It.
Do they tell you the ball's away? I mean, you're supposed to play the whistle, right? Do they yell away or anything to let you know that?
I didn't hear it.
Apparently, Mason Llewellyn said they did. I never heard it, so I thought Gage still had the ball.
Yeah, seems ticky-tacky to me, yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
but yeah, there was some ticky-tackies there. But, credit to the team. We did not let that slow us down or bog us down 15-yard penalties. Tim talked about it in Oneida's game. 2 back-to-back 15-yard penalties are huge, but we overcame a couple penalties.
Mm-hmm.
On the second one, nice play and breaking for yards after the reception was Wyatt Lowett. He got us down to the 1-yard line, and then there was a penalty there, right?
That was Lucas.
That was Lucas. Yep.
Oh, it was Lucas. Okay.
Yep.
And then, but there was a penalty that negated that play, and that was a
illegal touching is what they called it.
How unlucky can you get to get 2 penalties that are ticky-tacky penalties like that in one game?
Awesome.
But then in the second quarter, things really open up.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are both sort of offensive starters here, but I'm going to spin it to the other side of the ball. I want you guys to comment on how well the defense has played, how well they played the other night. We didn't talk about it in the opening segment, but we got the pick 6 touchdown, and then late in the game before it was went into the weather delay and then ended. We got the fumble recovery. So let's talk about the defense. Just give me your impression about how hard these guys are playing on defense, and you get to play a little bit on defense, Caleb, but you don't this year, Gage. Let's talk about the defense because I think that's a big story right now.
I definitely think big pieces are getting Braden. He's definitely helped a lot. And with the newer corners, Keegan has been helping with them for like months and months, which has definitely helped with passes and stuff.
Carter Slavin has really grown up week after week, has he not? And you mentioned Braden. How about the other linebacker inside playing with Braden in there? Desmond Boland. Let's talk about him.
Desmond's the leader of that defense. That's his defense. Anything that goes good on a run, like stopping a run play, Desmond's most likely in the area. He knows he's the one who calls our plays. So, I mean, Desmond is the one who does everything for the defense, like in a way.
But he is not just a leader on the field. He's a leader there on the sidelines. Does he? I kid him all the time. Does he smile all the time? You guys are around him.
Yeah,
he does.
There's nothing that happens bad that Desmond doesn't smile about. The other, a couple of other pieces I want to mention. Of course, Hunter Humphrey got the start the other night. I think he played some because Brett Hall was out. And did he do an outstanding job the other night?
I thought he did, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he did great.
Well, you have one interception. You also recover a fumble, so that's finding yourself in the right position. Coach Hall told us after the game, we talked to him and just said, if you'd be in this position, things will happen, and he did do that.
Yes, sir.
The other guy I want to talk about is Michael Bowles. Michael's also a senior this year, and there was a couple of times in the game the other night he really brought the lumber. Keegan Boland had one of those plays too, but really brought the lumber. So what's it like knowing that you've got Bowles back there and he can cover some space side to side of the field? You guys are standing on the sideline, you're watching him. Sum up his play right now.
I mean, I think he's been doing great. He misses like some of the coverage, like he needs like to work on his coverage a little bit, in my opinion. But other than that, I think he does great.
I mean, it definitely helps us just knowing that we can go play, and then when they get that ball back, that he's gonna help just keep them from like going and then like scoring, because a lot of times last season it was a big worry about them just scoring, but it's definitely gotten a lot better this season for sure.
Of course, I mentioned the defense, but I also want to talk about the receivers on the offensive side. This is probably the best, I think, group we've had in a few years.
Yes, sir.
You're the guys throwing the ball to them, and you looked real comfortable Friday night throwing the ball. There was no rushing. There was no urgency there like that. How does this group of receivers help you calm down and just go through your progressions?
I mean, I just know that if I can get that ball near them, that they're gonna catch it, and that definitely just like makes it a lot easier now for sure.
And I want to bring it back just a little bit. I mentioned the defense, but I also want to talk about the offensive line, Caleb. The first 6 guys on the offensive line, you guys are not giving up defensive pressures to the quarterback. You're giving him sort of clean pockets to throw the ball. Let's talk about the line. There's a lot of unsung things that we think, we're not sure this will happen this year, but I think the line's been a strong point.
I think our pass protection is our best aspect.
Mm-hmm.
We have really good run blocks every now and again, but I think our pass protection has really helped our offense make big plays this year.
And of course, Gage is our player of the game, but who else could we have given player of the game to the other night? We could have given it to
Michael Bond. Definitely.
Michael Bond, definitely. Humphrey for the 2 turnovers there like that. Any of the linebackers.
Houston's punt was pretty good, by the way.
Houston's done an outstanding job punting this year. I mean, there's so many players that potentially could be our player of the game week after week, and we'll try to spread it around. But when you do something magnificent, we'll have you back as a player of the game, guys.
So I don't get to go to the games, right? But I watch, and I just want to say one of the things that and I may have told you this last year. I can't remember if I did or not, but I mean it's sunk in even more this year. Gage is when I watch this team. You're so calm and you're in control and you are leading that team, and it's so evident that those guys look to you, and I believe they believe you can do whatever. You can lead them back in any situation. You talked about the defense, kind of worried about maybe you need to score more points last year. You can see this year you're just going to do what you're supposed to do, and it's working so well. And it's you're fun to watch, and like you said, the weapons that you have now out there, and guys like Caleb blocking for you, that you can trust him to have your back and to have your back for 30 yards downfield if need be. I mean, it's just it's such a great operation to watch go this year, and I didn't know what it was going to look like going up to Monterey, and it just turned into domination, and so congratulations on that. That's not really a question. I just wanted to say that to you guys after watching a couple of games. Is the ceiling is just out there, unlimited for you guys right now. I'm excited to see what you're going to do this week. I think you're going to make history every week with the things that you're doing. So just keep after it.
It's just Monday. This is our first region game. What does it mean to you guys? What does it mean to the team to take on, a known region opponent? You're going to get them at home this year. What does it mean to you to be able to be at home, first region game? You know who the opponent's going to be. That typically is an athletic team, year in, year out.
Well, they're still an athletic team. They're smaller than they were last year, but they're still as fast as they have been. Right. We've played a really good game in the first half with them over the last 2 years, and we kind of lost it in the second half. I think as long as we come out, we play a full game, run away with it.
Yes, sir.
Same feeling for you, Gage?
Yes, sir, of course.
Should we start building our excitement up? Is this going to be an exciting Friday to be a Highlander fan?
They were telling us something about we've not beat them since like the 90s or something.
Since I was in high school, Rick Keaton.
And I think
if
we do, it's definitely this season.
Here's the deal, Ben Garrett. We've played the Austin East 20 times. 4 wins, 16 losses. And Friday night, I'll even have you how many points we've scored against them in the 20 games. So, I mean, my research for some reason just clicked this week. So, 4-16, a chance to make the 5th win ever against Austin East. So, it's exciting.
Yes, sir.
I hope we have a great crowd there. I think you guys are something special.
So, Caleb, I got to ask you this before we go to break. I have seen you take out your aggression on opposing defensive linemen, and so what I tell myself when I see that happen is I'm not going to make that dude mad. You were introduced in a game last year that was Caleb Ball. Caleb Ball, of course, is the soccer coach at Scott High.
Yeah, that was me.
Was that Rick Keaton that did that?
Yeah.
And how angry did that make you?
Well, I've heard people tell me that it happened, but I didn't hear it.
If you had heard it, would you have wanted to drive Rick Keaton 30 yards down the field?
No.
Really?
It's an easy mistake.
Yeah, you got to take it easy on the seniors, right?
I got the first name right.
Hey, Gage, I made a comment during the broadcast the other day that you have to feel good that some of these guys like Wyatt Lloyd and Jagan Morgan, who's going to be on here in a minute, if they decided to play football this year instead of just basketball.
Yep.
I mean, you got a really good complement of wide receivers. How glad are you that those guys came out for football?
I mean, it's helped us so much because last season we lost Dawson and Keegan. It helps a lot just keeping him at corner. So now just having taller guys just helps so much.
And so you think you were mad because you got a flag for just blocking a guy? Did you see Keegan's flag for pass interference for not touching a guy? Right, like one of the best coverages I've ever seen.
I watched it happen, but I wasn't like 100% sure what it was because I was on the other side of the field from it. So I seen the flag flying. I'm like, that don't look right. But
so about once every other game, Greg has to text me and say you need to calm down. I don't think he texted me Friday night, but he was probably thinking it did. So, but anyway. So all right. So I want to ask you guys this, and we'll let you go. I added it up the other day. I think coming into this season, you guys, the program had lost 34 out of 37. And you guys heard the talk, all the talk in the community. Why do they need a field? You know, very derisive talk, very insulting talk from not from a lot of people, but from a few folks.
Yeah.
The way you started this season, what does that mean for you guys, for the program? I mean, what's the feeling right now?
I mean, it definitely proves a point, but, I mean, it probably means more to him because he's been here for these past 4 years and – they've not did great, so it definitely just means a lot.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I've been here for all 4 years. I've played for 3 of them, and it feels good to finally be winning something.
So Friday night, Austin East region game. The road to the playoffs starts Friday night. I think you guys got a shot to beat Austin East for the first time in 30-plus years, or almost 30 years, I should say. So what's your message to the community? There shouldn't be an empty house in the building, or empty seat in the house. Sorry,
There
right?
shouldn't be, yeah.
No.
All right. So Friday night, 7:30 at Highlander Stadium.
Yes,
Gage Privet, our first National Bank Player of the Game. Caleb Bell, our Trophy Masters lineman of the game. Good luck Friday night. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to our Scholar athletes.
Welcome back to the round table. And, Rick, when you have the Scholar athletes on, a low IQ sits this one out. So that's just the way it works. So we're going to meet our Scholar athletes now. It's Jagan Morgan, it's Olivia Van Hook, and it's Cameron Stiltner. And so we've heard from Cameron already once. I'll get to you. I'm going to start with Olivia, okay? Olivia, she gets the start because Olivia is in the Pride of the Tribe. I used to be in the Pride of the Tribe band guy, so I played the trumpet. What do you play, Olivia?
I'm a percussionist.
Percussionist, all right. So is there a certain percussion instrument that you feel like is the best one, the one that fits you the most?
Oh, for sure. In the marching band, I march snare drum, so I've always done that, and it's always really just been my thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Did you start on snare drum from the very beginning?
Year, yeah.
What, are you a senior?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's a lot of years to be.
Yeah.
Usually you have to start on the bass drum, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to start on something not as complicated.
Yeah.
But
slim pickings my 8th grade year. You know?
All right, I got you. So you went straight to snare drum. So tell me, what does band do? Does it help more, or does it get in the way of the studying, or do you feel like you have to hit the books a lot, or does it come naturally most of the time for you?
I think it really comes naturally to me. Band, it offers it's never really been like a chore in my opinion. Like, it's always just something that I just do it. Like, it's never felt like I have to put any effort into wanting to do it or wanting to get up and do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never really gotten in the way of my studies because it's always just been a part of my life, the same way I eat, and sleep. I've always been passionate about it, so I don't really have to put much effort into getting myself to want to do it or getting the motivation to do it.
Do you have a favorite subject?
Like
or
in
two,
school?
3, yeah.
Favorite subject?
Rank top 3 or however you want to do it.
I love science classes. Love them.
Okay. Has there been a teacher throughout time, and maybe you name one elementary, one middle, one high school, that have been a big influence on you and making you, a lot of people hate school. They'll say, I hate school. But is there a teacher that's made you just love school, that enjoy being there?
That's a really good question. Nobody really comes to mind. Of course, I've never had a teacher I outright hated. But I really can't think of anybody when you ask me that, no.
Okay. Well, if you think of one, you come back with it later, okay? What are you thinking you're going to do next year? What's the goal after this year? Do you know where you're going to go? Do you know where you're going to study?
I do want to major in music education. I want to be a college professor, ideally. But I do want to go to Tennessee Tech, but I have considered other schools for sure.
Okay. All right, Olivia, do you want to give a shout out to anybody while you've got the opportunity here? A family member or anyone that you'd like to say hey to, since you've got the opportunity, like millions of people probably watching here on this Monday night? Could be, could be, maybe not, but could be. Yeah, do you want to say hello to anybody?
Hi to my mom and dad. I know you're watching.
Okay.
Excellent.
Rick?
Jacob Morgan is our scholar athlete. You know what your GPA is right now?
I think it's a 4.26.
4.26.
So.
That's better than Ben gave out Friday night. He just gave you 4.0. So, throw more shade that way. I'm sorry.
That's why he's not up here.
Yep. Let's talk about your role in school. What subjects do you like the most? Which, if any, do you hate? And is school easy for you, or do you have to really dig at it?
I wouldn't say I hate any, but I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
But not easy for me, but it's not too bad.
If it's not easy, does that mean that you have to do quite a bit of homework after practice every day?
A little bit, every now and then.
Every now and then?
Yeah.
Okay. Tim always asks a good question. Do you have by the way, this is just your second year at Scott High. Do you have somebody as a teacher that has helped mentor you a little bit along these 2 years?
No, nobody comes to mind. I don't.
What's your major right now? Do you have one major, two majors?
I want to be an electrical engineer.
Electrical engineer.
Yeah.
So, can I guess you're going to go to Tennessee Tech for that?
Tech or UT.
Okay. But you want to be an electrical engineer. Yeah. Is that to come back here, open your own company, or is that to work with some firm someplace?
No, I'll probably work somewhere else.
I want to ask you a football question right now. I was really going to ask Gage a while ago this question. The touchdown pass you caught the other night, it looked like you were standing there for an awful long time.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind? Like, throw it, Gage, throw it, get it to me. And it just, it right where you're at, to his credit, he got it there to you, but it looked like you just couldn't.
I think I was just sitting there thinking, don't drop it.
Oh, yeah, because it floats to you, and I'm the only one there, and if I drop it.
Similar situation to McQuarrie County.
Yeah. Well, we won't talk about that one. But the first apparent touchdown catch the other night. Tell me a little bit about that play.
It was just a design play where I break a post off of Lucas's corner. He tries to pull the safety, and it was just there. We worked on it in practice all week, so.
So that's something we may see again coming up in the future. Okay, very good. Back to your educational goals. As you hit this stretch of your senior season, and you've got basketball coming up after this, are you going to be sort of glad to get done with sports, football, and basketball, unless you play soccer?
No. I think it'll go by fast, but I'm not ready for it to end.
Do you feel like it's taken an awful long time to get to be a senior?
Yeah. It's felt like a while.
Yeah, you never thought you'd get there?
No.
Is it going to go fast now?
Yeah, I'd say so. It already is. So.
Already is.
Yeah.
Okay. Family members, you want to shout out to somebody in your family? You got all these cousins that come to all your ball games there like that. Any shout outs?
No.
I did not ask that question, and we'll edit that out if we can do that, since you're not going to throw shade to the family. Okay.
All right. We'll move on. Cameron's already been on once tonight, so it's going to be tough to find a question you haven't already been asked. But Cameron, let me ask you this. So, do you know your GPA?
I know it's higher than a 4.0, but I don't really know.
Somewhere up in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, who's keeping track, right?
I think both said that so far everybody we've had has been above 4.0. So, I'm just impressed with the number of students that we have that are in that situation. But kind of the questions you've had a chance to prepare for now. So here we come. So do you have a favorite subject?
Definitely not.
You have a least favorite subject?
Well, actually, probably my favorite subject is probably English. I
Okay.
enjoy writing.
Okay.
But
So composition is a thing. Is it creative writing?
definitely narrative.
Okay.
I like creating my own stories, but
Well, let me just ask you before I speculate that you might want to go into journalism someday or something like that.
No,
But
definitely not, no.
Because we don't know any journalists that really are good role models, I know. So what would be the thing that you would want to do? Where are you going to go next year?
either UT or ETSU.
UT. What's going to be the deciding factor on those two?
If I get into UT, I already got into ETSU, so
Okay.
just waiting on UT.
All right. So if they say yes, that's where you're going to head?
Maybe.
Maybe?
I kind of
Okay.
want to be farther from home.
What do you want to major in?
Right now I'm going to go major in nursing to be an RN, and then later on go and be a nurse practitioner.
Okay. So, and you've diversified quite a bit. You've been in a lot of things, soccer, basketball, and, scholar athlete. And we talked earlier about pageants, things like that. Is there something we don't know about Cameron? People know a lot of things about that. Is there something we don't know that you're into that you want to tell us? Break news here right now and say, well, I'm also interested in this. Nobody ever asked me about this.
No, not really.
Nothing at all.
No, my life's pretty boring. Sports. That's about it. Sports, school.
What about the scholar stuff? Does it come easy? Do you feel like?
It's definitely not easy. I have to work for everything I get.
Okay. So, and I had two kids, and one it just snapped in, and the other one had to work really hard, or not sometimes, depending on what the situation was. But let me ask you, and if I can, just a zip question for everybody. Music, what's your, because you're in band, I'm just curious, what kind of music are you into, Cameron?
Definitely like rap.
Rap music?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Olivia? What's your go-to?
I really like new metal.
New metal.
Mhm.
Okay. Jagan?
I like it all, but country or rap would be my two favorites.
Rick?
My music?
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
Oh, yeah. Country.
Rick's a scholar. That's for sure. You're a scholar. You've been so country. Any
you mean
particular
because
country?
I was a valedictorian, that makes me a scholar?
Were you a valedictorian?
I was.
Wow. Here's somebody else is going to have to come
12.
up here. I just fell to last at the table. So country. What kind of country? Is it old country, new country, bro country? What's the country you're listening to?
I like everything except the new wild country. I'm maybe a
new wild.
Yeah, some of
what's
the,
that?
Some
What's
of the,
wild?
Some of the stuff is wild. Let's say traditionally country music.
Traditional country.
George Strait.
George Strait. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Alan
Now you get a question for everybody.
The one piece of advice each one of you could give to your teammates, your classmates, or whatever, the one piece of advice that you could give them to help them excel to be 4.0 plus students, what would it be? You want me to start with Cameron first?
I'll just put the time in.
Put the time in. Okay.
Probably just work hard, do your homework. Yeah, I don't really know. I just really have to do a lot of homework to just be where I'm at.
Okay.
I definitely agree with Jagan. I think if you just invest your time in it and don't let yourself fall behind, you just need to invest more of your free time into it, and it'll just come.
They make it, part of the time they make it sound like it's hard work, and part of the time they make it sound like it's so easy. I hope you guys, the rest of your senior year, find it very easy.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, this segment brought to you by One Bank. One Bank recognizes a scholar athlete each and every week, and the gentleman that runs the One Bank up here, Matt Phillips, Matt West, is one of our former Oneida athletes from years ago. He was one of my sixth graders. I used to teach school some. So Matt, we want to thank he and One Bank for bringing you the scholar athletes, and I wish you guys the best of luck. I'm sure we'll get a chance to visit with you or work for you or something like that down the road. But I hope you pick the right college and have the good experience that you all deserve on that one. All right?
Go forth and do good things.
And we learned something about Rick tonight. Valedictorian.
Well, you're not supposed to spread that around much.
Well, you just spread it a little while ago. I mean, it's too late to not spread that around.
I spent a lifetime, Tim, developing another,
I got you. All right. Well, we'll welcome back. I'll feel a little bit better when we welcome Ben back to the table here in just a few minutes. But we've got one more segment here on the round table, and we'll be back with that right after this.
Welcome back to the Roundtable on the IH Sports Network, our final segment tonight. And as always, we'll wrap it up by featuring a cheerleader from each high school. And so tonight we have got Darcy Watson from Scott High School. And you are what grade?
I'm an 11th grader.
You've got a junior from Scott High School. And we have also got Shaylee Gray from Oneida. And you're also a junior. Am I correct about that? All right. So thank you both for joining us. And first, let's start off by just telling us how long that you have been cheering. Shaylee, let's start with you.
Since 8th grade.
Darcy?
Since my freshman year.
Okay, so and I didn't know who you were. We asked last time, the cheerleaders who were on last time, to recommend who they wanted to come next. You guys got the nomination, but as I saw you come in, I knew exactly who you were. So you're following your mother's footsteps as a cheerleader,
yes.
right? So is that how much did she influence you to be a cheerleader?
Quite a bit. I mean, I wouldn't say she made the final decision, but I definitely wanted to be one because my mom.
So she was cheerleader at Scott High School, late 90s, right? Okay. So have you ever heard that you look like her?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just told her that when she sat down. So.
Yeah. Shaylee, how about you? Did your mom cheer?
No.
She didn't. Okay, so I thought she did, and Tim said that she was one of his former students, but for some, I guess I stand corrected. But so, what was your influence to get into cheer?
I just did since I was little.
Okay, so you cheered on Friday night. You were in a pageant on Saturday night. You don't say anything, Tim. You're going to be deer hunting in a couple of weeks. So is there anything that you don't do?
I mean, yeah. That's all I do.
Okay, but how do you this time of year, a lot of stuff going on, pageants, cheerleading, deer hunting. By the way, Tennessee football on Saturday. Tennessee and Georgia is going to be the most expensive ticket of the season. I happen to know that your father's going to be there. Do you get to take the other ticket?
I don't know.
Don't know yet?
Probably going to go to my uncle.
Oh, that's a pretty big game. I would fight for that one if I were you. But the question I started to ask is, how do you balance your time this time of year with so much going on between cheer and school and everything else?
I'll just do what I have to do.
Darcy, how about it?
Yeah, basically the same thing. You
Yeah.
just got to make sure you manage your time for sure.
So you guys have both been through, this is your third season of being a high school cheerleader. Football and basketball are the two sports seasons that cheerleaders take part in, but they're totally different for a lot of different reasons. What's your favorite, though?
Football.
You like football? How about it? Football or basketball?
Probably football.
So what is it about football that makes it more exciting?
Everyone comes to more football games.
It's fair.
The atmosphere for sure.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of basketball games.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Middle of the week.
Yeah. Do you find that, when you get in basketball season and you cheer more like that, it's harder to get the extra work, the homework and stuff done? And, that's how I don't know how you can really balance that, because, from school, you leave at school at 4 o'clock, you go to an away game, you get back at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. That's tough.
I agree with that. That's
we're not asking questions, Ben. We're just commenting.
But let me ask you this. So in football, is there a team that does it make a difference who the other team is? Is there a team you'd like to see our team beat more than another?
Everyone wants to beat Cofield.
Everyone?
Yeah.
That's pretty much unanimous? Yep. So what about for you, Darcy? What about, is there a team, or is it just the next one up's the one you want to get?
I mean, most of the time, yeah, it's just we're cheering against the other team, but McCurry County, it was a pretty big deal, so probably that one.
Yep, that border battle, that was pretty cool. What about basketball? Is there a team that aggravates you that you'd like to see Sky High whip up on?
No, there's so many of them, I really can't.
Yeah, I feel like that's just everyone.
Basketball's
I got
everyone.
an answer to that one.
I will ask this, because as I've gotten older, I have to get more and more sleep, and you know what, about 10 hours.
He goes to bed at 7 o'clock.
So does that ever become a problem for you guys? Do you have trouble getting up, or do you just get in that mode and you don't have to have a lot of sleep?
It depends on the day.
Depends on the day. All right, late in the week to get harder. Yep. What about you, Darcy?
I like to sleep. I really like to sleep.
What?
But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, that's true. Is there anything that keeps you from getting to sleep? Do you scroll your phone at night? Is there a game? Is there an app or anything that keeps you from getting the sleep you should? I'll start with Darcy.
Probably TikTok.
TikTok. What about you?
Yeah, probably TikTok.
Probably TikTok.
Oh.
I don't even have that on my phone. That's why I sleep so good.
All right, guys.
Ben posts TikToks a lot, though.
Yeah, I'm a TikTok
So you should
guy.
follow him.
I'm an influencer. What can I say? So we always ask, one thing we've asked in the past is favorite cheer. But the answer is always the same. For if it's a Scott High cheerleader, it's pow, pow, pow.
I was about to say pow,
And
pow, pow.
if it's an Oneida cheerleader, it's usually O-N-E-I-D-A. So I'm going to put you guys on the spot and ask you to pick your favorite cheer other than those two. What's your favorite cheer that you do? Or favorite routine?
I like our camp dance, if it's a routine.
Okay.
I know when we did Thunderstruck, a lot of people liked that, and I enjoyed doing it too. It was really fun. We did the DCC Thunderstruck dance. It was really fun.
Great. All right. So here's what we do. When we have cheerleaders on, we close out every show by picking the winners of Friday night's games, and we ask you guys to help us because we used to have a pick'em panel, and these guys, it was a disaster.
Terrible.
So we tried to get the cheerleaders to help them out. Their scores didn't improve any. This year we killed the pick'em panel because they were a lost cause. Kevin Akers was winning it every year, and we couldn't have that because his head swells every time he wins. But we still want you guys to help us pick the winners of the game. So you guys, you up for that? All right. So we're going to start with Oneida's region, and then we'll do Scott High's region. But we'll ask you both to pick both regions, and we'll start off with our games. And so Friday night, Oneida is going to be back at home for the third time this season. You're going to have CAK coming into town. Both teams are 2-1. CAK coming off a 28-10 win over Notre Dame. And I know you're not going to pick against Oneida, but who's going to win Friday night?
Oneida.
Okay, so what does Oneida have to do to win Friday night?
Just go play hard and just do their best.
Tim, what does Oneida have to do to win Friday night?
Well, as I spoke with Jackson, we're going to cut those penalties out. We don't want
none of this, right?
None of he's. You heard him. He said he's not doing that anymore. But yeah, cut out the penalties, cut out the turnovers, and just get better each week. CAK is an important game, but I think staying healthy this week is important too, because 2 weeks from now, when you only got 3 region games, they take on huge importance, and Tellico Plains is going to be down there, and that's always an adventure. Last time we did that, we were sitting in a van in a rainstorm and filming from up on the hill, so who even knows what that's going to look like? But to answer your question, I think what Oneida has to do is cut down on the turnovers and penalties.
All right, and Scott High this Friday night, they're going to open region play at home against Austin East. I was just telling Coach Hall back there, it's been a while since I've been on a Monday evening as excited about a Friday of high school football as I am this week, because I think the Highlanders have got an opportunity to make a big statement on Friday night. What do you got? Scott High and Austin East. Scott High going to get it to win?
Oh, yeah.
So
sure.
what do the Highlanders have to do Friday night to beat Austin East for the first time in 29 years?
Definitely just think about each play. Take it step by step. Don't get ahead of yourself, and just stay determined for sure.
And Rick, what about you? What do you think? What does Scott High have to do to beat Austin East on Friday?
You know, I think Darcy's really hit on it right there. I think they need to be careful this week, not get too much hype built up on the fact that, hey, it's been so many years since we beat them. They're always a good team. They're always athletic. Don't let the hype train get way up here. Keep everything under control. Be calm, cool, relaxed. Defensively, got to play well. Got to tackle. Offensively, a lot of belief. Let the people who do stuff well, let them go do that. I mean, the receivers, the running back Michael Bond, and Gage Privet, just to be settled and relaxed like he was this past Friday night in Monterey.
All right, Bledsoe County is at Tellico Plains, and Shaley, you just saw Bledsoe County on Friday against Oneida. Great comeback effort by the Indians. Came up just a little bit short. So Bledsoe County 20-14 winner on Friday. They're 2-1. Tellico Plains is looking good early in the season. They're 3-0. They beat Sweetwater on Friday, 27-22. Bledsoe County at Tellico Plains. Who's your winner?
Tellico Plains.
Tellico Plains. How about it, Darcy? No, you got to pick. Now, we can't let you off that easy. Now, maybe we flip a coin. Maybe you ask Rick Keaton for his advice. Hang on, Rick, who do you got Friday?
I go with the home team, Tellico.
Tellico Plains. Tim, who you got?
It's Bledsoe County.
You're picking Bledsoe County.
I am. And you talked me out of one like that last time, and I'm not letting it happen again. Bledsoe County, they're smart, they're disciplined, they're going to do their thing. Tellico Plains, some people are saying might be the best team in our region, and they're at home. We'll find out, but Coach Tabor does a good job with the Warriors, and I'm taking Bledsoe County.
So they're offering you no help because they're split. Are you going to go?
I'm going to give you a piece of advice. When I'm torn and I can't really decide, I go with the home team.
So are you going to take the home team, which is undefeated and heavily favored, or are you going to pick up the upset like Tim did?
Probably the home team.
The home team. So it's 3-1. It's going to be Tellico Plains. I will say, Tim, Tellico Plains the last few seasons have started off red hot, and then they kind of falter. So who knows? Maybe this is the week they start to falter a little bit. And the game he's talking about is, Rick, if you recall a couple of weeks ago, I talked him into, maybe shamed him into picking Eagleton or picking McMinn Central to beat Eagleton.
Yeah.
Eagleton beat McMinn Central. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I don't see a lot of things coming.
Yep, you did not.
So, all right, speaking of Eagleton is a 2-1 with the win against McMinn Central. They are at Sullivan East. Sullivan East still looking for their first win of the season. Eagleton coming off a 39-14 win over Providence Academy. Eagleton or Sullivan East?
Eagleton.
Eagleton. What do you think, Darcy?
Eagleton.
Rick?
Yeah, go with crowd Eagleton.
You're gonna make it unanimous.
I am, because, and I'll refer back to, Oneida 4-0 against CAK before they became the real CAK. We're watching Eagleton grow as quickly like that CAK team did. So, yeah, Eagleton.
Yeah, ton of resources for that Eagleton program. All right, this is one that involves teams from both regions, Oneida and Scott High. We've got Sweetwater. They're 2-1. They're at Polk County 1-2. A little bit deceiving maybe because Polk County's played a tough schedule. Polk County coming off a 20-8 win over Sequoia. Sweetwater is coming off that 27-22 loss to Tellico Plains that we talked about. So you got Sweetwater in Oneida's region you got Tellico Plains.
No, neither one of those.
You
have Polk County, which is in Oneida's region. You have Sweetwater, which is in Scott High's region.
There you go. So who are you taking?
Polk County.
Polk County. Does it have anything to do with that's Oneida's region opponent? No? So you like Polk County? Darcy.
I don't know.
She's just being honest, Ben.
Hang on. Rick, who you think?
I even forget who's playing now. Sweetwater.
Well, obviously, I don't
Polk
know
County,
either.
is that right?
It's a three-way scrimmage with Tellico Plains and Polk County and Sweetwater, apparently.
Could you cut his mic, please?
He
don't know either. See, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
I'm sort of going to be a
I'm
Tim
ready.
on this.
I'm ready.
I'm going to pick Sweetwater
Yep,
because
that's who it is.
Because I think preseason press probably had them looking pretty good, but I don't know. I've never seen them. We've never played them. Never been there. How you like those apples?
So, are you going to go with the crowd? Okay. So, how do you like being left out on that limb by yourself, picking Polk County? If Polk County
not bothering Shaley at all, is
if
it?
Polk County wins this game, we're going to come back to this moment. She alone picked Polk County
Yes.
over Sweetwater.
Congratulations.
We'll put up a monument.
Well, don't congratulate her yet. They haven't won yet.
Well, I'm just saying it'd be congratulations.
Okay. Cumberland County, they're 0-3. They're playing at Kingston. Kingston is 1-1. Cumberland County coming off a 40-0 loss over Stone Memorial. Kingston lost 15-9 to Loudon. Now Kingston is Scott High's region opponent, also a big rivalry game for Scott High School. So Kingston or Cumberland County?
Kingston.
You're going to pick Kingston. How about it, Shaley? You
pick
Kingston as well, Rick?
Yeah, I picked Kingston, and I want to quantify that a little bit. We may think of it as a rival. They don't.
No, I think they do.
Oh,
I think
they
they
so?
do.
Okay.
Unanimous. Kingston.
All right, Kingston over Cumberland County. I think that's probably the easiest pick of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kingston big. Okay, Meigs County is 2-1. A lot of people say Meigs County is the toughest team in Scott High's region. They're going to play McMinn Central on Friday night, another team in the region. That's a team that, as Tim knows, I liked early in the season. Haven't been as impressed with them as I thought I was going to be. Scott High is going to see both of these teams. You're going to cheer against both of these teams on down the road. Meigs County 2-1. Coming off a win over York Institute. They are at McMinn Central. McMinn Central coming off that 25-18 loss to Eagleton that we talked about. Who's going to win that game? Darcy. Is it going to be Meigs County or is it going to be McMinn Central?
That's a hard one.
It is a hard one. I agree. Meigs County. You pick Meigs.
Yeah,
she picks
probably.
Meigs County.
Yep.
What do you
Yep.
think?
I'll pick Meigs County.
Shaylee?
I agree.
Tim?
Unanimous.
You got it. Meigs County over McMinn Central. All right, guys, before we go, the mic is yours. Shout out to anybody. Encourage everybody to come out to the game Friday night. Tell them what a great sport cheerleading is, whatever you want to do. You start, Darcy. No, hang on. We'll come back to you. You start, Shaylee.
I don't go no shout outs.
You don't have a shout out?
No.
All right. So how about it? I'll shout out. Tim. There you go.
Yeah, you got it.
Tim, take her to the game on Saturday. Do you even want to go to the game Saturday?
I like going to some of the games.
Georgia. Yeah, Tim, take your daughter to the game Saturday. All right, Darcy Watson and Shayla Gray, thank you guys for joining us. Good luck Friday. Good luck the rest of the season. Maybe we'll see you back in basketball season. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight on the Round Table. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to Greg Bond working the controls and Kevin Akers tonight. Thank you to Tim Smith and Rick Keaton for joining me. Be sure to join us Friday. High school football, big region games coming up. A big region game and a big non-region game. We'll be there for both of them live with the Rogers Group pregame starting at 6:30 on Friday night. Until then, thank you for joining us and good night.